Ever wondered how to make the perfect cup of coffee? Ah, coffee. That delicious elixir that jumpstarts our mornings, fuels our afternoons, and sometimes even tucks us in at night. It's more than just a beverage, it's a ritual, a moment of solace in our busy lives. But what makes a truly great cup of coffee? Well, it's a symphony of elements working harmoniously together. The beans, for example, are the heart and soul of your cup. Their origin, roast, and freshness can dramatically affect the taste. Then there's the water, the unsung hero of your brew, which can either enhance or tarnish the flavor. And let's not forget the brewing method and temperature, both of which play a pivotal role in extracting those delightful flavors and aromas. So, now that we've set the stage, are you ready to discover how to make your ideal cup of coffee? Let's dive into the details. Choosing the right coffee beans is the first step to a perfect cup. The type of bean you choose can significantly influence the flavor profile of your coffee. There are two main types of coffee beans, Arabica and Robusta. Arabica beans are known for their sweet, delicate flavor and low acidity. They are typically grown in high-altitude areas and require meticulous care. On the other hand, Robusta beans are more robust, as their name suggests. They have a stronger, bolder flavor, which can sometimes be described as bitter. These beans are typically grown at lower altitudes and are more resistant to pests and diseases. But the type of bean isn't the only thing that can influence the taste of your coffee. The origin of the beans and the level of roast can also play a big role. Beans from different parts of the world can offer a range of flavors, from fruity to nutty to chocolatey, and the roast level can bring out different characteristics in the beans, from light and fruity for lighter roasts to dark and rich for darker roasts. Experimentation is key when it comes to finding your preferred beans. Try different types, origins, and roast levels until you find the one that suits your palate best. Once you've chosen your preferred beans, it's time to grind them. Grinding your coffee beans correctly is crucial for the perfect brew. Now, let's dive into the art of grinding and how it impacts your cup of joe. Think of your coffee grounds as the middleman between the water and the coffee beans. The size of your grind plays a pivotal role in the balance of taste and extraction. Imagine a spectrum. On one end, we have a fine grind, almost powdery in texture. This creates a large surface area that allows for a quick and intense extraction, ideal for espresso. On the other end, we have a coarse grind, chunky and distinct, perfect for methods like French press, where the water and coffee interact for a longer period. But the art of grinding doesn't end there. It's also about freshness. Grinding your beans just before brewing ensures you capture all those delightful aromas and flavors, rather than letting them escape into thin air. With your freshly ground coffee beans, you're ready for the next step, brewing. Brewing is where the magic happens. Imagine yourself as an alchemist, transforming humble beans into a tantalizing elixir. The brewing method you choose is the catalyst for this transformation, and each one can lead to a unique taste and strength. Let's start with the French press. This method is all about immersion. The coffee grounds are fully soaked in hot water, extracting all the flavors and oils. Remember, the water temperature should be just off the boil, around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the coffee and water mingle for about 4 minutes, press the plunger down slowly and voila, you've got a rich, full-bodied coffee. Next up is the pour-over. This method requires a little more finesse, but it's worth it. The key here is to pour the water in a slow, steady stream over the coffee grounds. The water should be the same temperature as for the French press, but the brew time is a bit shorter. Around 2 to 3 minutes should do the trick. The result? A clean, well-defined coffee that lets the subtle flavors shine through. Then we have the espresso, the godfather of all coffees. This method uses pressure to force hot water through finely ground coffee. The secret here is in the grind. It needs to be fine, but not too fine. Otherwise, you'll end up with a bitter brew. The water temperature should be slightly lower, around 190 degrees Fahrenheit. And the brew time? Just 20 to 30 seconds. Yes, you heard it right. The result is an intense, concentrated shot that forms the basis for many coffee shop favorites. Each brewing method has its own charm. It's about finding the one that suits your taste. Remember, it's not just about the method, but also about the correct water temperature and brew time. Now that you've brewed your coffee, it's time for the final touch. Adding the finishing touches to your cup can elevate your coffee experience. The world of coffee is vast, and your journey doesn't end once the brewing is done. Now let's discuss personalizing your cup with optional additions. Sugar, milk, or cream can greatly enhance or change the flavor profile of your coffee. For those with a sweet tooth, a dash or two of sugar can balance out the bitter notes. Milk, on the other hand, can add a creamy texture, while cream can bring a rich and indulgent mouthfeel. But remember, moderation is key. You want to complement the coffee, not overpower it. Now, onto coffee tasting techniques. Start by taking a small sip. Let it roll around your tongue to reach all your taste buds. Try to identify the flavors, the acidity, the bitterness, and the sweetness. It's all about savoring each sip and fully appreciating the symphony of flavors in your cup. And there you have it, your perfect cup of coffee tailored to your liking. Enjoy. Making the perfect cup of coffee is an art. That's what we've explored in our journey today. From the vital role that beans play in our caffeinated masterpiece, to the subtle artistry of grinding and the precise science of brewing. Every stage matters. Each bean has its own personality, its unique flavor profile waiting to be unlocked. The grind size and consistency can make or break your brew, influencing extraction and ultimately, taste. Then there's the brewing method. From the humble French press to the elegant pour-over, each brings out different nuances in your cup. But remember, perfection in coffee, like in art, is subjective. It's not about achieving someone else's ideal, but discovering your own. So, experiment with different beans, grinds, and brewing methods. Find what tickles your taste buds and warms your heart. Remember, the best cup of coffee is the one that tastes best to you. Happy brewing!